I've now been in the commercial sector for about 8 years now.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah,
What a shift. Good for
I
you.
absolutely love it.
Good for you.
So
Good
what
for
made you
you.
decide to close your firm and make this transition?
Well, it was it was time.
Hmm.
It was time. I wanted to do something different. I was
Hmm.
not happy doing residential at all,
Hmm.
and one of my vendors, I was a Trinity rep actually, that told me about a firm that was hiring and in multifamily, and I said, well, hey, what the heck? Let's go have a chat, and um, sent in my resume, my portfolio, had an interview, and that was that. And it wasn't planned. It was just like, what do I have to lose?
Hmm.
And so, I got hired and then slowly transitioned out of residential, closed my firm, and the rest is history, as they say, right?
Did this happened
Yeah.
all before the pandemic, correct?
Oh yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, this happened before the pandemic. This happened before I had cancer and
Mhm.
all that other stuff. So yeah,
And you're looking fabulous.
Yeah, you look
thank you.
great.
I feel awesome.
Good.
Oh,
I
good.
feel
Love to hear
good.
that.
Yeah.
Oh, good. So with this new line of work, the
Hmm.
scale of projects is obviously different,
Oh my
right?
gosh. Yeah. The scale is different. The pressure is different.
Mm-hmm.
Um, a lot more stress, different kind of stress.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say I have learned so much in terms of codes. And
Mm,
I think I am a more well rounded designer.
Mm-hmm.
I think because, you know, being in the residential interior design, and not to downplay it, it's very important, and it's good for people who want to do that stuff, but for me, it being in commercial, it's more technical, more hands-on. So I've learned how to um determine types of walls, metal stud walls versus wood stud walls. I've learned about walls and ceiling assemblies. I've learned about floor and wall assemblies. I've learned about what really happens behind the wall when you need to put up, blocking for a wall mounted TV or ADA accessories. I've learn about the codes in terms of accessibility. It's opened my eyes up to how we as interior designers affect public spaces,
mm,
and really how we can make a difference for able-bodied and non-able-bodied people.
hmm.
Right.
So
And are you working all over the country or just in one particular state?
just Florida. Most of the
Florida.
projects that
Okay.
I manage are,
Because they must have
based here.
different codes than California, than
Oh my gosh.
Massachusetts.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So much to
Yeah.
learn. Yeah.
There's a lot to
All the
learn.
compliance.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Because now you're
Oh
talking
yeah.
about an inclusive building. This is anyone can touch it, walk through it, feel it,
Hmm.
experience it. So
Right.
all of those things have to be thought of,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, absolutely.
And do
Yeah.
you work with a
Absolutely.
team, Marilyn, that you manage?
I work with a team, and I'd say I manage them and manage the projects, but we're more of a team rather than me managing them. We work like in tandem together.
Hmm. Right.
Excellent. Excellent. Excellent.
Yeah.
Very, very good. So what was the biggest challenge for you in leaving your boutique firm and going to this big, vast, like, how did you manage the shift? Because there are many people
Um,
who like do their own thing and they want to go up, but they're like, have I been doing my own business too long? And how do I approach that?
I think the biggest challenge was deciding do I want to go and work for someone else? because, you know, working for yourself, you have a sense of freedom, right? But you also have a sense of responsibility. If you don't work, if you don't, you're putting food on the table, right? And deciding to pivot from being your own boss and having your own freedom, you can, you know, decide not to work or work and go into work for someone else where you have to work a 9 to 5. That is the biggest decision that you will have to make. And it was a struggle. You know, I'm not going to lie, it was a struggle because I was used to doing my own thing and I don't have to answer to anyone, really. But, you know, and, you know, going to work for a larger firm, you have to answer to someone. They're really nice people.
You can't just take a few weeks off and then come back with no questions asked.
You have to earn that time.
Yeah, right.
To go jet set all over the world. But yeah, so I think that was the biggest struggle.
Well, yeah, because I think a lot of women are have looked at that, you know, a lot of people look at that situation and they can be fearful just because they know what you just said, the lack of losing that freedom. But there's always something good to be gained too. And I think,
oh my gosh, I learned so much. Yeah.
So much. So the trade-off was like amazing, right?
And I'm still in, you know, I'm still not working for myself. So yeah.
And we always have to answer to somebody, don't we?
Of course. Absolutely.
Even working for ourselves, it's just bigger answers you're looking for.
Exactly. Because
Bigger
if you're working for yourself, you hire people, your responsibility is to them, you know?
Yeah.
Not only yourself. So yeah.
So we know you have the vacation side, you know, she travels, right? Your Instagram feed.
See her travel. Yeah.
Yes, I love that.
See her travel. I love it. So Linda was asking before you got on about the connection between the UK or, you know, London. Your husband is from there? Am I remembering this properly?
My husband was born in London, and we have in-laws, and he has a large family in London and that side of the world. So
wow.
I love to go there.
How many times do you get there a year?
Well, you know what, before the pandemic, it was gosh, I think the last time we were there was probably 2016, and we were gearing up to do another trip, and then the pandemic hit, and so we finally made a trip there last year. And it was a couple of days, but it was so good to see our family. It was awesome.
Sure.
Yeah.
When you're there, I'm sure you get some inspiration for your work, right?
Oh, I do.
Yeah. What inspires you when you go? What do you look for? Do you know?
No, not really. Actually, no, that is a lie. Let me back up. When I go there, I particularly like the history of Europe because, you know, they're older than us. But I do like the museums for one. The historical, the country homes. I just like everything about London is really nice. There's just so much history there. The architecture, the people, the food. I love the food.
Do you? What do you love to eat there?
It's a traditional English breakfast. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Eggs and
tell us what that is. Oh, okay.
Isn't it bangers and something in
yeah.
I don't even know what bangers is, but isn't that
I don't know that term, but the traditional English breakfast is with the beans and the British ham, or it's oh my gosh, it's so good.
I didn't realize there was a bean connection with breakfast.
No, I didn't either. Interesting.
Yeah, you have to try it next time you're there.
Okay, I have to get there. I just flew over it, but I've never been.
I know, you were in Paris, right?
I thought of you. I did think of you. Maybe I'll run into Marilyn. And we can
'cause I
talk
was
about
there
rice and
too.
peas.
Oh
Peas and
my
rice.
gosh.
So tell everybody your background in that food connection, because we did start on that conversation the last time.
We did, yeah. So was born in Jamaica, and I came to the U.S. when I was 13. But I still have my Jamaican roots and heritage, and cook Jamaican food. My in-laws are Jamaican, so I'm just traditional Jamaican. And every time we get together, we talk about rice and peas, not rice and beans. No,
It is a staple.
it is,
It
but I don't cook it a lot because
I can't cook.
it's very
just
heavy.
It's like, even with my husband who's Cuban,
Mhm.
they love, like at Christmas time, they love a pernil, which is a pork shoulder, right?
Uh-huh.
And when he first started saying, cook a pork, I'm like, I'm not cooking a pork shoulder for Christmas. That's too much fun. But then, as the years went on, he
It's
warmed
a
me
lot of
down.
work.
So we'd have the ham and the turkey and the pernil, all this food. But it's so heavy. I love it.
It
It's delicious. But for me to cook this at home, I'm not cooking this at home. But Jamaican food is delicious.
I am to the point where, like, can we order that now? Like, it's it's very time consuming.
It's very good. It's very time
still good.
So you're not making any or anything like that. Yeah. There's a dish, Linda, in the culture where you're basically taking up, it's like green bananas and beef or pork, and it's like a mashup almost.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's really very good. It's
Is it something that
really
simmers
very
on
good.
the
So
stove
when
all
do you
day?
think how do they make it? I have never made it in my life, but I think it's baked. No, it's cooked, put into one thing, and then it's baked.
What is that you're talking about? Which
The mofongo. Do you know mofongo?
No, I don't, but I love it. I love it.
I have never made it
because I was asking someone at work about how to cook that, and it's a process.
Oh yes.
Because
you're cooking all these different things.
Yeah, it is so good though.
Yeah. And I'll get on. I'm going to go on to something else, but I have to say, and so is Aki.
Oh my God.
Aki is
making me hungry.
Aki has a really soft texture, Linda, and not everyone is going to like that. It's one of those things where you grow up with it and you love it. I don't know that everybody would like it.
It is definitely an acquired taste, and it's one of those. It's a plant, I believe, where if you don't pick it at the right time, it's poisonous.
Oh wow.
Yeah. It's Jamaica's national dish there. Yeah, ackee and saltfish. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's right, bacalao. So how do those colorful foods? Does it go right into your design? Does your history and the things you love and the color of the tropics go right into it?
Always. I am a color lover by nature, and it's because I'm Caribbean, with the Caribbean is colorful. I always try to put color in everything I do. Some people don't like it, so I try to tone it down a little bit because it's not loved by everyone, especially when it comes to their projects. But I will not shy away from color ever.
We understand that. I think you're with two other color lovers. So look at my background. Look at me.
Linda is big on color.
I love color.
I love it.
So I'm right with you, Marilyn. I love color.
Yes, it's wonderful. Well, it's energy, right? I mean,
it is like we live in such a colorful world.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And speaking of color, as a brown woman in your field, are you seeing changes?
Ooh, very little. I definitely think that there's an effort out there to, make the field diverse, but it's slow. It is slow. I'm not sure what is happening. I'm not sure if, the resources are available to people who look like me to study interior design. I don't know. I honestly don't know, but it is changing, but very slowly. I wish it would. I wish it wasn't like that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, slowly we change things, right?
Slowly.
Yeah, doing the best that we can and moving forward.
Yeah.
So we can do. Yeah.
I think that, conversations like this to help.
Well, yeah. I mean, we have to be able to talk about these things. And, and if we don't talk about acceptance and inclusion, how is it ever going to get better? It can't be some eggshell thing. It's got to be open and communicated.
Absolutely.
The question is important to ask.
No.
It's crazy. But and these are things that we shouldn't even have to talk about. It's almost silly.
Exactly.
Right.
It's almost ridiculous. It's shameful, actually.
Yeah.
But unless we start, I don't see it getting any better. But
yeah.
What are you going to do? Just keep talking.
Keep talking. That's it. Keep smiling. Keep talking.
I know. So what do you see on the horizon next, my friend?
So on the horizon is photography. I love photography. And so I have these really cool cameras that I need to learn how to use. So I am going to be taking some classes locally on how to just use my digital camera, but I am into photography.
Great.
Oh yeah.
Especially with traveling, to
gosh.
London, you can just spend the whole time there out on the street with your camera and be just loving it.
I love it. I'm in my own world. I am in my own happy world. And, I'm just doing something that I absolutely love.
That's great, Marilyn. Love to hear that.
Yeah. And you know that Linda's a photographer, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I love your pictures.
Aren't they great?
Thank you.
Awesome.
They are awesome. And yours are awesome too. They're moody. I like how moody they are. I love those back of the head shots and the hat shots. And it's very, very, very moody. The feeling is, it's all there. But what a fun new hobby to have. I try, Linda has taught me some stuff, and I just don't have what she had.
Well, you took some good shots.
It's just practice, really. It's just, I think people that think they're not good or that they don't have what it takes is because you don't do it enough,
Right.
You saw my Instagram post yesterday. It's all about that. It's just practice to train your eye. You're not going to sit down at a piano after, and playing once a week thinking that you're going to master the piano. You're going to do it. I don't think a day could go by without me taking something, even if it's a screenshot of something.
I know, right? That is so, I am so with you on that.
Every single day.
Take a shot,
And I walk the dog three times a day.
Shot,
always have the camera out. I might see just like a pattern in the cement as we're walking across a parking lot, but only because I've been looking through a camera lens for 50 something years that it's such an obsession that if I don't have a camera with me, I feel like I'm missing a limb. Like I have to, I don't know. It's just so ingrained and so much of a part of me now. So
Linda, do you use your iPhone a lot, or do you have a digital camera too?
I have two smartphones, an iPhone and I have a Samsung. I haven't had a digital camera in 10 years.
Really?
And I can't even
see her pictures.
And
right?
I can't even use the digital camera.
She teaches a course on this, on how to use your iPhone. Did you know that?
I know. There's tons of classes out there. I'm like, wow.
No, I had to give up my heavy camera because, 25 years of lifting heavy cameras, lenses, lights, and
Yeah.
lugging it around. I did
It's a lot.
spinal problem, and I
Oh,
had
wow.
went all the way up to seeing a spinal specialist. I've had
Mhm.
injections in my neck. I've had everything that can be done. And the last thing he said to me was, "You're done with the injections." He said, "You have to put your camera down literally today, or we're going
No
to have to
way.
fuse the vertebrae in your neck and you won't be able to turn your head." And honestly, since then, I don't think I picked up the camera again. I gave it away to
Oh,
my
wow.
the iPhone was just getting like really better because the first cell phones were crap. My first one was like the iPhone 4, which was not a very good camera. But now the cameras are so smart and so good. And people don't know what I'm taking it with. If I'm taking it with an iPhone
That's
or the
true.
expensive camera, because photography, as you will learn, is not about the camera. It's about your eye. It's about you
Yes.
and what you see. So it doesn't matter.
Absolutely.
When
Yes. You
I
can take
did
a picture of anything and it can come out the way you want it to, you know?
Exactly. When I was in
Mhm.
photography school, our whole first semester, we were not allowed to use a digital camera. We actually used an oatmeal box and did a pinhole
Oh,
camera.
wow.
And we had to learn how to see using a Quaker oat box that we would take the lid off and you'd put the actual paper in. You had a hole in it. It was wild, but it really ingrained into us. It doesn't matter what you shoot with. It's
Mhm.
all about what you see and training your eye to
Wow. That
see.
is phenomenal. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
So my husband still jokes about that. Remember when you were a photographer with oatmeal boxes?
Annie
Oh my gosh, that's
House is
cool.
saying hello from Naples.
Oh, hey, Annie.
Hi.
Yeah, just so that we
I miss seeing you,
acknowledge
Annie.
you.
When you come back, we have to get together. Annie lives in my town and we haven't seen each other in a very long time. So we need to
Oh,
get together.
Recognize that name. Yeah.
She's an
Oh my
amazing
gosh.
artist. Oh my God, her stuff
Mhm.
is so beautiful.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, I was going to ask you for your last question, what would you like to do more of? Is it the photography
It is.
or
Yeah.
something else you want to
Yeah.
get in? Yeah, yeah.
I'm
Well,
excited to hear
I
that,
wish you-
Marilyn. I'm going to start really like paying attention to your Instagram and seeing how you progress.
Yeah.
That's
We'll
awesome.
have to have another conversation of when about my photography. Yeah.
Anytime,
Yes,
just
that would be
reach out.
great.
I'm here.
Maybe reach out the day before so we can make sure.
Yeah. Check those links and recheck those
Do it.
links.
You know I
Do
love
a
you.
test
I
run.
can only say that to Marilyn because Marilyn knows. We'll call each other on the
Listen.
phone. Let's touch the link together.
Hello.
I love you so much. I wish
love
you
guys. Oh,
I wish you the
man.
very best at your new position, and I know that you're just turning it out the way you should be, and
Thank you.
you look beautiful, and
Thanks.
I'm glad everything is well.
Thank you for having me on. I'm finally glad this happened.
Me
Yes.
too.
So good. Thank you.
Thank
Me
you,
too.
Marilyn, so much for coming on.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Have a wonderful day.